For those warbird aficionados, you can also see the Lockheed Hudson starting its pre-flight checks or pre-start checks, turning the engines over, moving all that oil around for those radial engines. Getting a little bit of oil between all the metal before they kick it in the guts for the classic smoky start.
We were talking about the requirement to actually heat up the oil. The Avenger actually carried a variable amount of oil depending on because it would lose so much on emission. Long range one, they took a lot more oil.
So it's a little less efficient on the oil than your mum and dad's car. It carries 121 litres of oil. It's more than a blue whale.
This is the only Avenger flying in Australia. We're very grateful to see it down here at air shows down under Shoalhaven.
It's actually the largest single-engine fighter in World War II. The thing is massive. When it parks up next to some of the other warbirds, you just get a real idea of how huge it is.
Looks very ungainly on the ground, but very highly manoeuvrable in the air. That ungainly stature that it has, if you have a look at it, they used to call it the turkey.
Just listen to that thumping radial as it takes off.
Exactly the same type as fitted into the B-25 bomber. This aircraft actually was shown to the public for the first time on a special day, the 7th of December 1941. The aircraft was actually displayed on the east coast of the United States. Very first time shown to the public. And little did they know that only a mere few hours later Pearl Harbor would be attacked in an effort to destroy the American Pacific Fleet. That's where the aircraft got its name, Avenger.
So quite timely, great way to sell aircraft is to present it on a momentous day. And it was quickly pressed into service and it saw its combat debut in the Battle of Midway with VT-8. Just similar to the Australian experience in the South Pacific, these were very young, inexperienced pilots flying 6 Avengers. And unfortunately, 5 out of 6 were shot down, so not a great combat debut, but it went on to serve all throughout the Pacific admirably.
Very highly manoeuvrable, very quick. And quickly gained a reputation as a very successful strike aircraft. Second action was basically the Battle of East Solomons, where the Saratoga and the Enterprise launched TBF aircraft and sank the carrier Ryujo.
Yeah, so it's a torpedo bomber. So doing the bomber can carry a torpedo, crew of 3, pilot, on the rear, and a gunner. So a little bit of crew coordination in the aircraft itself to A, flying the ship or the submarine, and then B, get in a position where you can employ the torpedo on that. So not as easy to just go out and bomb an aircraft. There's actually a fair bit of work involved to fly the ship or the submarine and give it a good use with a torpedo.
2 forward-firing 50 caliber machine guns, 303 machine guns in the turret, and in the ventral position, just behind the bomb bay, under the fuselage, it could carry rockets under the wings, 2,000 pounds of bombs, or a 2,000 pound Mark 13 torpedo. Action continued in November 1942 when Marine Corps and Navy TBFs, as the original designation was, in the Battle of Guadalcanal sank the battleship Piedi, so they were involved in some considerable actions in the very early days of 1942.
Yeah, it was doing some pretty serious work throughout the entire war, and just like the Sea Fury, it was operated off a carrier, so no catapult. They just had to gun the power and go off the end.
It's incredible visibility from the cockpit area and that very long canopy.
If you look closely there in the bottom aft of the aircraft, you can actually see a little observer's window. So you can actually go down to the back of the aircraft and look out the back. And that's where I used to have the machine gun.
They look slow on the camera, but they're actually really fast on the...
Now, throughout the war, it was responsible for sending 30 subs to the bottom of the ocean, which is quite a record when you consider
Guys, it's
how
not
hard
that
it is to
slow,
fly a
it just
submarine
looks
from the air.
like it's going slow
How
on
they
the
do
camera,
that,
but
they look
it's
for
going
a
fast.
periscope, maybe a diesel snorkel with a little bit of diesel soot coming up, all the way, and punch it down into the torpedo.
You can see the bomb motor going there.
Wait, it moves with the
Towards the end of the war, involved in the sinking of the Japanese super battleships, the Musashi and the Yamato. Largest battleships ever produced, 65,000 tons.
So you can imagine an aircraft that flies, just looking at it, relatively slow. If you're on a ship, you have a pretty good chance of slowing the or looking into the aircraft comes on. Pilots and crews are incredibly brave going into extremely dangerous combat situations to try and protect the target.
Especially if you look at the size of those super battleships, even the smaller ones, like the Canadian older ones, and then the incredible number of cannon and machine guns as well as the principal armament of the
There's footage online, you can see of the naval battles that go on in the first and the it must have been absolutely terrifying for the crew.
one of the most heavily defended targets that they did on the island was at Chichijima, where the Japanese had a base. The island was basically shaped like a horseshoe, but it's not like a normal magma. It's actually volcanic, openly flying into the air into the harbour. Very high cliffs, so to attack that position, down they came through the anti-aircraft guns that were shooting at them, down at them, trying to get out as well. They lost quite a number of aircraft with that, including the aircraft of the former President George Bush. He was the youngest naval aviator. He lost his crew, but he managed to develop.
He was actually rescued by a submarine.
A lot of aircraft, including US Army Air Force
Gonna
aircraft
end
like
the-
Mustangs,